What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Welcome back to Screen Fiend, and let's talk about Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish's new film, Night School. Night School was cool. It was alright, but a lot of the jokes didn't land. And it was just a lot of... It's just out of place a little bit. For a film that had a lot of serious moments in it, I don't know. I want to say editing was the problem, maybe. It seemed like there might be an extended cut where this be a little better. Out of the 4-star rating, I gave it a 2.5 out of 4 stars. It's a good movie. Man, has a very good point at the end, you know, the good message. But overall, I think it's just was missing something. It was not an epic movie at all as far as comedy. It's just a decent movie. This was it's definitely a date movie, so you're definitely gonna enjoy that portion of it. And Kevin Hart plays this character who's really messed up. You know, he messed up in school and he basically had to hustle his entire life. And during his hustle, he's really hustling backwards because he has no fallback plan in case something happens. And a lot of people, they say, oh, well, you can fall back on your education if something goes wrong. Well, he never got the education. So, you know, this is a guy who has to face up to a lot of bad decisions he was making in life. You know, he had to start facing the music, and he wasn't a guy that did that very well. And all aspects of his life, he was affected by it. So this teacher, you know, got him to focus and to focus, you know, and you know, face the problems and things that he was dealing with. So that was huge, especially for him. So you're gonna enjoy the film. It's like I said, the person that stood out the most to me was the guy, what's his name, Malco? I can't think of his last name. He was in 40-Year-Old Virgin, which is the actual movie that Kevin Hart has a scene with him when he comes in and buys the stereo from him. And it was an epic scene on the extended cut version when him and Kevin Hart has that exchange. It was hilarious. Look, you somebody's Negro wearing this Negro tie. Look, I don't need you to be my Negro. Be my Negro. Look, since you throwing so many big words at me, I'm going to take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth and help me with this sale. Yeah, that was a classic movie. Now, this was not. But he stole the show to me. He had all the best jokes. And I got a friend named Skilla that he reminds me of. But I laughed at him almost every time he spoke. So yeah, his character was great. He was a breath of fresh air. Kevin Hart has some funny moments in it. I don't want people to think like, oh, you're just hating on Kevin Hart. No. The movie gets 2.5 stars. It's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. It's just a little, you know, it's missing something. And you can tell, when you watch it, you'll be like, ooh, it read funnier than this. You know, people who know, they know what I'm saying. It's like, man, this movie read funnier than what is coming out right now. It's not coming out right. Like, the scene here should have been a lot funnier. And if they watch it in theaters, you'll tell too. Because you could tell the audience wasn't like vibing with a lot of the with a lot of the situations that happen in the film. There were a lot of situations in the film that shouldn't have went the way that they did. And I think that they'll probably learn from that and move forward. I mean, Tiffany Haddish, her makeup was terrible. And sometimes it was decent, and other times it was just absolutely too much makeup. I'm like, my goodness. That is just extremely too much makeup. And then it goes from that, but she had a outstanding wardrobe. My God, they made her like, shit. I'm like, she's the best dressed.
Take the next exit, right. 65 on the right.
No, I'm getting off here. She was the best dressed night school teacher I've ever seen. Period. No doubt about it. Clearly got that award. But it is a good movie. I enjoyed it, and a lot of people enjoyed the film. They just didn't laugh as much as people probably would thought. A lot of the jokes that were supposed to take off, they didn't take off. Like Rob Riggle was in there, and I felt he was wasted. He was completely wasted character in the film. They couldn't find better spots and better lines for him. They could have done a lot better with him. There was another female character. She was in there, over-sexuality character we've seen before 1,000 times. There was a lot of cliche situations in there, but I felt she was another character that was just a little too much for no reason, you know. So it's one of those situations. But other than that, that's it. So I'm out. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for supporting the page. I appreciate it. Much love. Peace.